In the glittering world of power, money, and influence, few names shine as brightly, or as controversially, as Adnan Khashoggi. He was the ultimate middleman, a Saudi billionaire arms dealer whose wealth and charisma opened doors to presidents, royals, movie stars, and dictators alike. From private jets lined with gold, to deals worth billions, Khashoggi was the man who sold weapons, dreams, and excess, and lived like a king while doing it. But how did a boy from a humble Saudi family rise to become one of the richest men in the world, only to lose it all? Today, we take a deep dive into the life, fortune, and fall of Adnan Khashoggi, the man who defined excess and secrecy in the age of oil and espionage. Adnan Muhammad Khashoggi was born in Mecca, Saudi Arabia, in 1935, into a family that valued both faith and ambition. His father, Dr. Muhammad Khashoggi, was the personal physician to King Abdulaziz Al Saud, the founder of modern Saudi Arabia. His mother, Samiha Ahmed, came from a prominent Turkish family, giving young Adnan an upbringing steeped in both privilege and expectation. Though his family wasn't wealthy by Western standards, the Khashoggis had royal connections. Adnan grew up watching his father navigate the powerful Saudi elite, a skill he would later master on a global scale. At age 16, he attended Victoria College in Alexandria, Egypt, alongside future leaders such as King Hussein of Jordan. This school became a gateway, not just to education, but to a lifetime network of royals, politicians, and business magnates. Later, he would study in the United States, at California State University, Chico. But it wasn't the classroom that fascinated him. It was opportunity, and how power flowed through relationships. Chapter 2, The First Deals, 8 to 1300 Hours. Narrator. Khashoggi's journey into the world of business began not with oil, but with connections. In the 1950s, as Saudi Arabia's oil wealth exploded, American and European defense companies sought entry into the kingdom's lucrative markets. Adnan realized he could be the bridge, the facilitator between the West's military industries and the Saudi royal family. His first big break came through Lockheed Corporation. He helped the company secure multi-million-dollar contracts for military aircraft, and in return, he earned commissions so large they made him a millionaire before the age of 30. By the 1960s, he was handling deals worth hundreds of millions, earning the trust of the Saudi royal court and a reputation as a man who could get things done. Bomb Chapter 3, The Arms Dealer, 13 to 2000 Hours. Narrator. By the 1970s, Adnan Khashoggi was no longer just a middleman. He was the arms dealer, working behind the scenes on deals involving Lockheed, Northrop, and Raytheon. He developed a complex web of offshore companies to handle transactions, disguising who paid whom, and how much. In the era of Cold War politics, he was indispensable. Western companies wanted contracts. The Saudis wanted weapons. Khashoggi was the man who made it all happen. His commissions ran into hundreds of millions of dollars, and his fortune ballooned to an estimated $4 billion by the early 1980s. He owned 3 jumbo jets, yachts, estates in Spain, France, and the US, and even a private DC-8 airliner equipped with bedrooms and gold fittings. He was known for his charm, always impeccably dressed, and fluent in the language of luxury. His guest lists included the likes of Richard Nixon, Elizabeth Taylor, Ronald Reagan's associates, and Prince Rainier of Monaco. In the glittering social world of the 1970s, Adnan Khashoggi wasn't just rich, he was royalty without a crown. Chapter 4, Family Life and the Kings of Excess. Amid all the wealth and influence, Khashoggi's personal life was equally spectacular. In 1961, he married Sandra Daly, a young Englishwoman who converted to Islam and took the name Soraya Khashoggi. Their union was glamorous, they became one of the world's most photographed couples. Together, they had 5 children, and their life was a swirl of luxury parties, designer clothes, and high society events. Their main home, a lavish villa in Marbella, Spain, became legendary. Even King Juan Carlos of Spain was said to have visited. But beneath the opulence, cracks began to show. Khashoggi's empire was built on volatile deals, complex networks, and political favors. By the early 1980s, pressure mounted. The US government began scrutinizing international arms deals. His association with controversial figures and secret transactions caught global attention. When Khashoggi's empire began to strain under debts and investigations, Soraya filed for divorce, in what became one of the most expensive divorces in British history. She claimed over $800 million, citing his affairs and lifestyle as causes for the breakdown. Chapter 5, Fall from Grace, 27:00, 33:00. As the 1980s drew to a close, the golden age of Adnan Khashoggi was fading fast. His once impenetrable network was being dismantled by global investigations into corruption and illegal commissions. His name surfaced in the Iran-Contra affair, where US arms were secretly sold to Iran, and profits funneled to rebels in Nicaragua. Although Khashoggi denied wrongdoing, his reputation never recovered. By 1988, he was arrested in Switzerland on charges related to financial fraud, and later extradited to the United States. Though acquitted of major charges, his fortune had evaporated. The man who once threw parties on million-dollar yachts now sold his assets to cover debts. The jet-set billionaire became a man without a kingdom. Chapter 6: Later Years and Legacy. In his later years, Khashoggi kept a lower profile. He continued to dabble in business ventures, from real estate to private investments, but the days of billion-dollar deals were long gone. Still, he remained an influential figure in the Middle East, respected for his intelligence and remembered for his charisma. He lived quietly in London and later in Monte Carlo, occasionally granting interviews reflecting on his extraordinary life. On June 6, 2017, Adnan Khashoggi passed away in London at the age of 81. He died of Parkinson's disease, surrounded by family, a far cry from the extravagant life he once led. Chapter 7: Lessons from his life. Adnan Khashoggi's story is more than a tale of wealth and excess, it's a lesson in ambition, power, and impermanence. He mastered the art of influence, showing how relationships could open doors that money alone could not. But his downfall reminds us that when wealth is built on fragile alliances and secrecy, it can crumble just as quickly. He lived in a world where morality blurred with business, and where power was the ultimate currency. Khashoggi once said, "Money is like water, it will find its own level." And indeed, his life rose to unimaginable heights, before flowing quietly back into history. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the life of Adnan Khashoggi, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Join us next time as we explore another figure who shaped the world, for better or worse.